In today's world, technology is evolving faster than ever at a pace so rapid that it challenges all industrial processes. To retain their leading edge in innovation, industrial companies must dive deeper into research and development. And along with innovation comes new and improved production methods, processes, and machinery. All these elements make up the industrial setting in which production workers typically work and to which they have to adapt continually on a daily basis. Each day, workers perform physical and labor-intensive tasks and operations in an environment that exposes them to factors which may affect their safety and comfort. This is where we can lend a hand. In our relentless search for innovation and excellence, we've acquired unique insights and gathered extensive expertise in creating what have been recognized as the market's most intelligent glove solutions. Every ATG glove has been conceived to help your workforce perform to their best in the safest and most comfortable environment. ATG gloves offer the highest quality of protection and comfort and are therefore recognized as the world standard in professional work gloves.
Essentials. Recommended dosage 3 times a day. A set of 3 fragrances for him and her.
Linux architecture. The components are placed like this. The kernel is the core part of the Linux OS. Kernel acts as the interface between the hardware and the other parts of the operating system. The system library is the collection of special programs and procedures used by applications to communicate with the kernel. System utility is authorized to do special work. There are a standard collection of system utilities that are there in Linux.
So ITUS is not actually ITUS, it's ITUS. Anybody knows what ITUS is? Any guesses? Let's go through the video and maybe we'll get that answer. Just give me a short minute.
So this was an incident that happened not that long ago. It was on New Year's Eve, right here in Bangalore, Kamanahali. And we've all seen the videographs of this time and time again, reminding us how unsafe our city has become. And this is not an isolated incident, by the way. It keeps happening time and time again across all the cities in India, right? I can probably bet that there's, in this room right now, every person has got somebody he or she knows who has been impacted by this social malaise called molestation, right? There's nobody that's been left untouched. The challenge that we face today is, in a situation like this, there is no chance that the young lady can use her phone to call for help. We have seen lots and lots of app-based solutions after the Nirbhaya incident came in, but this young lady had no chance to pull her phone out and call for help. And just imagine for a second if she was an employee of your company, or if she's traveling somewhere outside the city, or maybe even abroad. How would he or she call for help? Because there was nothing accessible at that point in time. And we went out and met loads of these victims, which has happened inside corporate transport, inside office buildings, inside public transport, or any way that they've been commuting. Times of India says 40% of women in India have been molested at some point during commute, an alarming number, right? So once we went out and interviewed all these people, we figured, we've been talking about technology time and time again, and smartphone being omnipresent is still pretty useless in a situation like this, right? Where somebody can reach out and ask for help very, very easily and simply. And they do not need to use rational thinking, or to process, or to think what number to dial, or how will I get help. They should be available, and it should be omnipresent at the press of a button. And my friends, this is the answer we found. It's an ID card which each and every one carries to their work, otherwise they'll not be let inside. And it's got a patent pending technology built into it where they can get help with the push of a button. The single button can pop up on a company dashboard anywhere in the world, which tells them where the employee is, who the employee is, what their medical history might be, who the emergency contacts are. And then the company can then provide assistance to that particular employee in the fastest and the shortest possible time, making it more effective, right? Best part is, it costs less than a cup of tea per employee per day. Sounds exciting? It's been designed, developed, conceptualized right here. So now that I have your attention, let's watch the rest of the video. Thank you. I'm very pleased to say that a modified of this technology has been picked up by a UN-sponsored project to save child trafficking in 2 villages in Nepal. There are companies currently using this right from Mexico to Malaysia. One of the feedbacks that came in is, as per the NASSCOM policy today, any woman, lady, or employee who has been dropped off after 8 p.m. needs to sign a trip sheet that she has arrived home safely. There is no way to audit that. It can be easily forged and is definitely not foolproof. The feedback came to us from a large BPO. What we have done is, now when the employee reaches home, they do the click thrice. All they need to do is click thrice. A safe home message with their geolocation comes to the office, comes to the security center, goes with a copy to the manager. It is auditable, and you can find out that it's been sent out from the employee's mobile phone itself. Therefore, very, very difficult to forge. Right? Unfortunately, two of my largest customers, both from Danske and from Society Generale, they haven't turned up today. I was hoping they could share their experience. But these are my contact credentials. I'll be available all day. If you want to touch base with me, you're more than welcome. Let's together get rid of this issue, and let's make our city safe again. Thank you very much. Krish from Safe and City.
Thanks,
Thank
Krish.
you.